trying for a cinematic shot, I cannot get it to work. Like, the Bay Bridge and sunlight and everything else, it doesn't work. PC unboxing videos. I'm sure you guys are the same way as me when I see one, because how it looks and how it sounds is completely different from how it feels. Like, most of the time, it'll look and sound something like, what is going on, guys? It is your boy, blank, or blankety blank, coming at you with a brand new video, hand gestures included, where we unbox this wicked PC. That may be what it sounds like, but that's not what it feels like, because it feels something more like, what up, you sweaty nerds? I'm about to unbox this insanely expensive PC that you definitely can't afford that I got for free. And as a little added bonus, I'm not even gonna thank you for your continued support or viewership that put me in this position, so, surprise! So even though I will be unboxing a high-end gaming PC that Ironside Computers sent to me for free, we wanted to do a little bit more than that, because we didn't want the video just to be, hey, look at all this awesome stuff that I have that you guys virtually bought for me with your viewership. So in partnering up with me for this video, the guys over at Ironside generously gave me a second PC to give away to you guys, and I will address that right now, the word giveaway. I don't know if you're like me, but when I click on a video and I see, to be entered into the $50 Amazon/Steam gift card giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. Vomit. High impact projectile vomit. I want to set that video on fire. So allow me to tell you what you don't need to do if you want to enter into the giveaway for the PC. You don't need to subscribe, you don't need to like the video, and you don't need to leave a comment. All you need to do is click a link that I will leave down below just for a minimal amount of information just so we can contact you. It's not like we're going to sell your information to somebody in China. Just the information that we need to contact you if you end up winning the PC. And I'm going to start by unboxing that PC that we're going to be giving away. And before I cut open the one that we're giving away, I just want to let you know I will try to get a minimal amount of fingerprints on it. I just want to showcase it so you can see it. I'll try not to get like olive oil and ravioli all over it. Okay, this is what it looks like. I don't want to turn it on though. I'm sure it has some kind of blue or purple or really neato LEDs, but I don't want to turn it on just because all of the internal components are already packaged in a certain way that they need to be for shipping just to make it safe. So I'm not going to turn it on, but this is what it looks like. I'll also make sure that all of the specs of this thing are down in the description. This is the gigantic one, and it is considerably heavier. Yes, this is a box within a box within a box. And here it is. I cannot hear it, but I can definitely see it due to all that RGB. I love RGB because it's going to match my keyboard and my mouse. I know some of you hate RGB, but either way, it's definitely visible from space. Alright, so now I'm going to install everything that needs installing. I'm going to integrate it into my current setup here just to see if it can run Roblox at 4K. But before I do, and I know this is not perfect cinematography, I'm sure my lighting's hot garbage and I'm not using the rule of thirds, I did just want to say a very sincere, a very humble thank you to all of you out there. I know you guys come back video after video. I can't say how much I appreciate you enough. So thank you very much. Really, you're the ones that put me in this position. Without you guys, I'm nothing. So a very sincere thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. You guys are the very best. And also too, of course, thank you to Ironside for giving me this gigantic PC and the second one to give away. Just thank you to everybody. So this yogurt that I just ate has hashtag FlipYoLid and Flavortown Population Me on it. I'm really glad that Guy Fieri memes have made their way into my diet. Just one thing I wanted to mention before I go over everything involving my setup, from the monitors to the keyboard to the mouse, everything else. I wanted to mention this is purely about function, not necessarily aesthetics. So if you see like a bowl of spaghetti back here that it looks like I should be adding some pasta sauce to make a nice home-cooked meal for myself, just know that I highly value function over aesthetics, so as long as it's not lighting anything on fire, I'm really not all that concerned about it. Hitting all the major components that you guys are going to want to know about, the case itself is an Evolv ATX with tempered glass, so that's why it looked a little bit heavier. The graphics card that's staring you in the face is an NVIDIA Titan X Pascal. The processor is an i7-6900K that's cooled by an X52 Kraken. That means that it's liquid cooled from NZXT. There's all kinds of NZXT RGB fans around the entire case. The motherboard is a Gigabyte X99P SLI CF, and on top of that is 32 gigabytes, so 4x8 of G.Skill RAM. There's also a 500 gigabyte SSD from Ironside. It's branded as titanium. I'm not sure what brand it is initially. And then behind that, there's a 7200 RPM, 2 terabyte regular standard hard drive from Toshiba. I'm probably gonna throw a bunch of 840 and 850 EVOs that I have from Samsung and some Caviar Blues and Blacks for actual hard drives for me to use, and then on top of that, it's all powered by an RM850X from Corsair, which is 80 plus gold. It's not platinum, but it's close. And believe it or not, using a software that's already on the PC when you first boot it up, you can make this RGB seizure into even more RGB. Time to shift this baby into overdrive. Oh, baby! I don't know who could possibly need this in their life, but I guess this exists. And I'm not speeding up this footage, by the way. This is 100% real time. This is what it looks like. Yeah, if you guys want to know the secret to getting a high frame rate, really high FPS in game, RGB, that's the secret. Just know that it's fully customizable. Like, I can make it green here, I can make it purple, I can make it red, I can make it whatever color I want. You can even make it beat and pulse like a heart if you really want. Just know that it's fully customizable if you want to distract your eyes or give yourself a seizure. As for my mic, which I will tap on right now, I have a Shure PG42, which is connected via USB, so I know a lot of you will get a little bit butthurt that it's not an XLR, but I have insane quality out of this thing. I can't tell you how much I love it. I've had it for 2 years. It's excellent. The mic arm is just a standard one off of Amazon. I don't really use it that frequently unless I'm recording something or I'm in my Discord talking to other people, but that's just like a very standard one, and I will use this encasing while I'm making a video just so that foam can kind of cancel out some of the noise so I don't sound like a caveman. I'll get to the monitors in due time because they're hugely important, especially this one here. But moving on to the keyboard, this is an 810 Orion from Logitech. They sent it to me for free. I don't really have a sworn allegiance to any kind of keyboard. I used a Corsair K70 before this one. As long as it has this thing right here where I can turn up my volume, just, oh look, I'm listening to some song, and then all of a sudden I can just jack it up like that. It's my favorite feature on any keyboard. And this is also how I maximize my frame rate. RGB, RGB, RGB. The mouse over here, which I will pull over here for slightly better lighting, is a Razer DeathAdder Chroma, which I've been using DeathAdders like the 2013 DeathAdder and the DeathAdder before that forever. I just can't change. The DPI, which is the most important for you guys to know, is 400, which is considered to be very, very low, which I really enjoy. I recently switched from high sensitivity to low sensitivity. I'm a lot more accurate now, but it takes time to adjust. The headphones that I use are Sennheiser 598s, which I adore, and I'm gonna stop saying that I love stuff. I think it should go without saying that, oh, if it's a part of my setup, I love using it, and I don't hate it as a part of the components that I use, so it should go without saying that everything here I do love, but the Sennheiser 598s especially, great headphones. They're so incredibly light that you can wear forever. I love them. Even though they are like a mocha slash vanilla caramel type coffee looking color with brownie ear cups, and they don't match anything that's RGB around this entire setup, they're just so incredibly comfy to wear for like 12 hours. Can't live without them. There are Logitech speakers back there and a big subwoofer down here, but I use them so infrequently I wouldn't consider them to be a critical part of this setup. The headphones are used almost 99% of the time. I won't even go into those. On to the monitors, which are utterly important. The first thing I have to say is monitor arms are so critical. I love monitor arms. Just the idea of, you know, like a regular stand for a monitor that goes underneath there, it takes up so much space. It doesn't give you a monitor that's high enough. Get a monitor arm for 2 monitors. I have one over here too. It is utterly important. Okay, the first thing that I have to say about this whole monitor setup, you do not need 2 ultra-wide monitors. It is just way too much. Like, just the idea when I'm sitting as I would be gaming or as I would be editing right here, there's no way that I can utilize all of this screen real estate. It's just too much. Like, the idea that I would go all the way up here and all the way down here while editing or game, that's so silly. Do not get 2 ultra wides. But regardless, these are both 34 95Cs from LG. They're very high quality monitors because they're 3440 by 1440, so they're great monitors. I just don't know why I ever thought that I needed 2 of them. But the one in the middle is a special one. It's an Asus ROG PG278, and it's a 1440p monitor, so it's 2560 by 1440. But it's also 144 Hertz that you can then overclock to 165 Hertz, and G-Sync is of course included. Now, I'm not trying to insult you here. I know there's a lot of you that are PC enthusiasts, but a lot of you out there are also not. There's a variety of you watching. So if you want to think about 30 Hertz or 30 FPS going like this, and then 60 FPS being like this, as far as the number of frames, the number of pictures that it shows you every second, 144 is really, really rapid because it's steadily refreshing or updating 144 times every second. So as a result, you need a computer that can shove out a really high frame rate or give you great performance in order to shove out a full 144 Hertz every single second. Now, plenty of computers can squeeze out 60 FPS or 60 frame updates every second to play a variety of different games, usually at 1920 by 1080p. That's usually the more popular resolution, so you do need need a much nicer computer to not only play and record at 1440p, but also squeeze out 144 frames every single second. And it does have the ability to overclock. Overclocking a monitor sounds ridiculous to me, but it can overclock itself to 165, but I just don't feel the need to do that. And just so we're clear, I'm not gonna be benchmarking anything. Like, I think it's kind of useless for me to tell you, hey, look at this PC that can get 5,732 FPS at 4K in Minecraft. It's kind of like, if you know the specs, you know roughly what I can get in various AAA titles at certain qualities. So I'm just gonna skip all that. All right, here I am with some Roblox rap battles. I'm up against Candy_Lands here, who's just swearing at me, so I can't. Oh, there you go. So don't you try to ruin this style while you be crying on this pile. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, using Cookie Clicker is not going to be the best example, but here goes when it comes to Shadowplay. So Shadowplay is always recording your footage or your gameplay in the background, but that doesn't mean that I'm saving everything to a hard drive. The way it works is, it's always going in the background, recording what's happening, and then let's say I call in my grandma kill streak, and I want to save that moment. All that I will have to do is press F10, and it automatically saves the past 3 minutes of gameplay, so that's all that I needed. I needed just that little highlight. I didn't need to record 10 hours to get that. So now I can go over to a hard drive and find the clip. And boom, there it is. In a folder, I can easily double click on it. There's my footage of me getting my grandma kill streak, which I can easily then drag into Sony Vegas and start editing a video. Now, I'm not gonna drag that clip into Sony Vegas and start editing it just because I'm not gonna upload it, because that's silly, but also because I'm recording my voice right now with Sony Vegas. But you can just imagine me dragging this clip into Sony Vegas and starting to edit a video. Now, the great thing about Shadowplay, beyond it just being a very, very minimal performance hit, like I don't even know if there is a performance hit, you can barely even notice that you're recording, whereas other programs, you significantly drop off in FPS. The other good part is that you can easily change the settings by hitting Alt-Z. You can change that 3-minute recording or that 3-minute shadow recording, like I said. You can change that into 5 minutes, you can change it into 10 minutes, you can change that really easily, as well as the resolution and the quality of the video. I do 1440p at max bit rates at 60 FPS. So it's pretty high quality, but it's still something called 264 if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of like the highest quality of a mid-tier quality. And just to round out the whole setup, because I'm sure you guys would crucify me if I didn't tell you this, the little Badger that you can see in the back of my videos, I got this one at IKEA. The Mike Wazowski hat I got at Disneyland about 2 months ago with my girlfriend. And last but not least, clearance. So I got clearance in July or August of last year while I was on a date, believe it or not, at the San Francisco Aquarium at Pier 39, or close to Pier 39. We ended up going to Sushi Hunter afterwards, so I sat down eating sushi with this stuffed shark and my date, whose name was Candace, who I don't talk to anymore, but I just brought him home. Yeah, I walked all the way from Pier 39 all the way back over here after going to Sushi Hunter with this guy. And I just can't let him go. He's too precious. But I think he is losing his stuffing. Like, especially in the back, he went from thick to definitely not thick, so I may have to get him restuffed. And that's about it. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'd also like to thank Ironside for the free PC and the additional PC to give away to you guys. And I will list all the specs of everything that I possibly can down in the description, so it's very easy for you to tell. And if you have any questions, I can always do the intro to the next video answering some FAQs. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and peace out.